It is so good to be back in Surrey. So great to be here with Randeep, with a number of friends, but especially with my good friend Sue. Come on, a big round of applause for Sue. You know, I want to do this in front of all you. I want to thank Suk for his years of leadership, his continued advocacy for this community, for Surrey, not just in the House of Commons, but right across the country. He is a passionate, fierce defender of this community, but a fierce defender of the idea of Canada as well. You know, when I first got elected, he was already elected before me, and he was one of those people that I turned to learn the craft of politics. Because, you know, some of you may know this, my father was in politics as well. Thank you. And I learned a lot of things about being a statesman from him. I learned about the values that you fight for. I learned about the strength of the people of this country and how we know that standing up for each other with values like truth and justice and honor and especially service, seva, is so important. Those are the things I learned from my dad. I always learned that you believe in Canadians and you put forward an ambitious vision for this country and people will rise to meet it. That in politics, if you go low and you start attacking and you be divisible, people will come down to the worst level among us. But if you lift people up, they will rise to it, and we will build a better country and a better community together. Those are things that I learned from my father. But you know what my father didn't teach me? How to hold a barbecue like this. How to be there for his constituents. How to listen to people and learn from them. And be that community leader that is focused on what can I do today to make your life a little bit better? Every single day, because it's that steady application of hard work, whether it's solving immigration problems or standing up for our seniors or bringing together different orders of government to deliver in the community. This is the work of an everyday MP. This is the work that my friend Suk taught me how to do from the very beginning. And he learned it from all of you, so thank you for teaching him and making me a better politician and a better leader. You know, we are in one of those times in the world right now where everything seems difficult. Whether it's the changing geopolitics, whether it's the continued hangover from a pandemic that left us with disrupted supply chains and inflation that finally is coming down but that was really difficult for too long. We left us in a world where we're increasingly challenged with climate change, with divisive rhetoric, with a rise of populism, with the kind of wedge politics that are designed to divide communities against each other and against themselves to try and gain little advantages. And this is the world we're in that is filled with anxiety. And in that world, each of us, but particularly all of us as Canadians, we get a choice. We get to choose what kind of country we want, what kind of future we want to build for our kids. And that choice, we don't just make it at the ballot box every few years. We make it every day with the kinds of conversations we have with our friends, with our neighbors, with our coworkers, with our colleagues, about the kind of world we're building with our everyday actions of seva, of being there for each other, of contributing to a better world. And that's the choice we're going to get to face as Canadians next year in the federal election. A choice of, do we continue to step up and be there for each other? You will know that over 650,000 seniors, just over the past few months, have accessed dental care, many for the very first time, because of initiatives that we brought forward in the House to help seniors. We're seeing an increase in childcare spaces. We're moving forward on school food programs in schools. We're moving forward on investments in drawing in good jobs for the future, because fundamentally, confident communities, confident countries invest in themselves, in their families, in their workers, in their future. That is the challenge we are facing. That is the choice we are making as Canadians. And I'll tell you a little secret that Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives don't want you to know. The choices we made from 2015 onwards to invest in communities, to invest in infrastructure, to invest in health care and child care and support for seniors and support for students and support for municipalities building more transit. The choices we made to invest in communities and Canadians instead of costing us ended up giving us the strongest balance sheet in the G7. Right now, the Canadian economy is projected to grow faster than the US economy next year. We have the lowest deficit in the G7. The countries and companies around the world are investing in Canada to record degrees. Foreign investment is up 60%. We were the #1 country in the G20 last year in per capita foreign direct investment, 3rd in the world. The world has confidence in Canada, in Canadians. This government has confidence in Canada and in Canadians, and we're choosing to invest. And Conservatives right now are offering cuts to programs, cuts to services, because they think that's what creates growth. Well, you know, as a community, that what creates growth is being there for each other, is standing up for each other. That's why this government will always be the government that stands up for communities, stands up for fundamental rights, that knows that Canada is one of those great and rare places on earth that is strong, not in spite of our differences, but because of our differences. And we will always stand up, whether it's the bullies from around the world or whether it's the bullies here at home, to make sure that everyone in Canada gets to be free, gets to live safely, and gets to build a better future for their kids and their grandkids. That's what we stand for. That's why I'm so happy to celebrate with you all tonight.